So everyone, I'm just here in the Speaking Part 7, Expressing Opinions section of the CELPIP Library. And today we are going to do a sample from Volume 9 about languages. Okay. So it says here, in Canada, we have two official languages. It's true, French and English. Do you think children should be taught in its two official languages? Explain your reasons. Very good question. Very good question for expressing your opinions. And yes, the expressing opinion questions are usually something related to Canada or something related to international events, okay? And this one, even though it's related to Canada, I know that in many countries around the world, they have two or three official languages, and this is always a question as well, okay? So it's relevant to Canada, but it's also relevant to um, other parts of the world, okay? All right, so let me just switch over to my board and let's get started. So then, everyone, the answer that we're going to write today, a 5-6 answer, okay? And I'm going to try to help you develop a 5-6 answer where you can speak more. And the easiest way to do that is to try and think of some reasons why yes and some reasons why no. Okay? Remember, this is an opinion question, an opinion question. And always for these questions, some people will say yes and some people will say no. Okay? Of course, you can answer with only yes. Yes, I think it's good because this reason, this reason. And you can also answer no, I don't think it's good for this reason and this reason. But sometimes it's easier if we can think yes and no, right? So that's what we're going to try to develop, okay? So the first thing is introduce the question. From my point of view, for some reasons, I agree that students should be taught in English and French, but for other reasons, I disagree. So you see, from my point of view, or in my opinion, it's okay. So for some reasons, I agree, but for other reasons, I disagree. Okay? And just should be taught, should be taught. And I put here English and French, but we can say should be taught in its two official languages. Okay? So I put that there. But you can put in its two official languages there too. English and French are the two official languages. And if you're going to be coming to Canada, you should know that, okay? So there, we introduced the question with yes and no. Some reasons I agree, some reasons I disagree. So let's start with the agree, okay? It's always better. First and most importantly, I agree because learning languages can help students get better jobs. Okay. So this means that if we learn two languages, it can help students get better jobs. That's what it means here. Or it can also mean learning languages like other languages. Now, let's just see what the example here is. For example, in Canada, if you can speak English and French or another language, you can get some better jobs in customer service. That's true. That's very true. Okay, because especially in Quebec and in Ottawa and even in Ontario, if you can speak two languages, English, French, and another language, that would be great. And for example, city jobs are very good. So if you can speak English and French or another language, you can get. Very good, everyone. So if you can, that's good, a conditional. If you can. So using conditionals, if this, if that, it's a very good way to explain. Okay? So we said, I agree because learning languages can help students get better jobs. Then I gave the example, okay? Speaking English, French, or another language, and you can get some better jobs in customer service. Very good. So then let's explain a little more. So, I think speaking two languages can provide more opportunities for children. Very good. Speaking two languages can provide more opportunities. More opportunities for children. Very good to finish that one like that. Okay. So you see, in this side, I said why I agree, and I gave a good reason, an example, and I explained a little bit. Now let's get to the other side. On the other hand, I disagree because it can be difficult for some students to learn in two languages. Okay, it can be difficult. It is, or this can be difficult. Okay, we usually say it can be. So, can be difficult for some students to learn in two languages. That's true. What do we have for an example here? For example, some children have learning problems, especially with reading and writing. That's very true. I think it's everywhere. Some children have learning problems in general. So that's true. Okay. So the example is some children have learning problems. And what does this mean? So, what does it mean? So, I think if they have to study in two languages, learning will be more difficult. That's right. That's right. So, again, we use another conditional. If they have to study in two languages, if students have to study in two languages, learning will be more difficult. So they means the children that have problems learning. So if they, the children that have problems learning, if they have to learn in two languages, if they have to study or learn in two languages, learning will be more difficult. That's very true. Mhm. Okay. So you see, in this side, we gave an idea. We said it can be difficult for some students. We said the students that have learning problems. And then we explained that it will be difficult, more difficult for them. Okay? Very good. So I gave a reason to disagree. Okay? And now let's get to the closing. Overall, I strongly believe that learning two languages can be great for some children's futures. So that's what I said over here. It can be great. for some children's futures. But also, learning two languages, it can be difficult for some children. So learning two languages can be great for some children's futures, but also it can be difficult for some children. Okay? So everyone, I think it's easier sometimes to think about this question. For part 7, everyone, we should try to think. Well, sometimes these topics are yes and no, and there are many reasons to think yes and no. But for us level 5, 6 students, I think, well, firstly, if you can say only one reason, let me be honest, if you can speak this, you can get 5, 6, no problem, okay? Because this question is more for higher levels. For level 5, 6, all you need to do is speak something about the topic. It's not expected that you need to speak so much and give so many ideas. No, no, no. So even if you give this idea, even if you give that idea, you can get 5 or 6 if you speak it clearly. Well, no. Actually, if you speak the idea, if you introduce the question, you speak the idea, and you give an overall, then you can get 5, 6 if you speak that, okay? So, really, I want to say also that, well, you can also say, firstly, you can just say, firstly, I disagree because, okay, maybe you just say this side, just say that side. Also, you can get 5, 6. If you speak that, if you introduce the question, if you give the idea, give an example, and conclude, you can get 5, 6, okay? You're not expected to give two ideas or give two sides. No. For level 5, 6, we don't need to worry about that. So, what I wanted to show you is just a way for you to improve your speaking, okay? I'm giving you an example here of how we can improve our speaking about this topic for sure, okay? So what I did here is I introduced the question. I said I agree for this reason, and look very carefully. This is my idea. I gave an example and I explained. Then I gave for the other side. I gave an example. I explained. And then I closed. Very good way. Now, this one here also uses some good language, okay? We use lots of can. I agree because it can help. Children can get better jobs. It can provide, can be, okay? And also, see, can be, and also future will be. So that's good language. And also we said if they have to study in two languages, conditionals. Okay? So, everyone, now I'm going to speak this answer for you in 1.5 minutes. So you can listen to how we can speak it with fluency and good intonation, okay? All right, so while I'm speaking, everyone, please follow along and please follow the structure and the language well. Okay, here we go. From my point of view, for some reasons, I agree that students should be taught in English and French, but for other reasons, I disagree. First and most importantly, I agree because learning languages can help students get better jobs. For example, in Canada, if you can speak English and French or another language, you can get some better jobs in customer service. So I think speaking two languages can provide more opportunities for children. On the other hand, I disagree because it can be difficult for some students to learn in two languages. For example, some children have learning problems, especially with reading and writing. So I think if they have to study in two languages, learning will be more difficult. Overall, I strongly believe that learning two languages can be great for some children's futures, but also it can be difficult for some children. Okay, everyone. All right. So, again, everyone, this is a really good practice for us. For level 5s and 6s, we should understand this example. We should understand it. So, now very good practice for you would be to read it and speak it in 1 minute and a half. If you can speak it in 1 minute and a half, clearly, then you're developing very well. And also, let's try to speak sentences like this, okay? And lastly, if you can speak the answer in 1 minute and a half without reading it, then you have improved greatly, okay? So, everyone, I'm going to leave a link in the description box for you to have this question sample. Okay, there you go. You will have it here. And you can just here, let's go. Okay, you can see the example and you can read it there. And also, I'll try to connect some grammar practice to this link. Okay, and then everyone, let's not forget, if you'd like more speaking practice, there's lots of speaking practice in the CELPIP library. If you want more listening practice, lots, over 60 to 70 examples. Reading practice, writing practice, lots. So everyone, lots of practice here. So in that link as well at the bottom you will see a link to purchase a library pass. And also, very important, you can use this discount code, CELPIP79, and you can get a 3-month subscription for $10.99. That's a great deal, everyone. So, if you'd like to purchase a library pass, please follow that link. And let's not forget, practice makes perfect.